Des Taylor, welcome to Suit Up the Podcast.
How are you doing, sir?
I am doing amazing. Happy birthday to you. Like, as of recording this, it's like the day after your birthday, I think you said.
No, mate. That was like a few days ago.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, yeah, that was funny enough. That was the time we had booked before.
Oh, of
Yeah,
course. Yes.
but yeah, and then my wife took me away from my birthday, so yeah, we had
Aw.
to reschedule, didn't we? So
Hey,
yeah,
you know what? That's a very good reason to reschedule. Congratulations, another year around the sun.
yeah. The way I put it is another year I've survived. So you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, especially with what's going on in the world and stuff. Just be blessed for
Mm-hmm.
every day. That's the way I put
Mm-hmm.
it. So yeah.
No, that's a great perspective. Like, honestly, so I just turned 30 recently, and that has given me a greater appreciation because now I feel like I have enough time that I actually have seen things crest, move, and change. And
Mm.
just the appreciation for, you know what, life is a blessing. And it's
Yeah,
so great to see how the world keeps spinning, even though it sometimes feels like it's spinning out of control. I have
yeah.
to say, scheduling wise, this actually works out almost perfectly because as of recording today, it is Free Comic Book Day,
Yes,
which
it is.
I have to ask, A, do you celebrate? What do you do to celebrate Free Comic Book Day? And is there a comic book that you have been itching to get your hands on?
One, no. On free comic book, I'm here working right now. That's pretty much it. My life is just, I'm stuck at the desk. I'm creating things. If I'm not creating my own stuff, I'm doing commissions for people. And then, as I say, I'm that guy that's got my fingers in tons of different pies. So, you know, when I'm not like trying to organize a convention in the UAE, I'm trying to do something in Las Vegas, and then I'm doing my comic work. And then obviously I've got family, so I'm doing family stuff. So I am constantly doing something. Yeah.
It
So
is
all those that keep pestering me, sending me messages and stuff, I'm busy, all right? If I don't pick up, this is 1977 settings. If I don't pick up the phone, I'm doing something. So I'll get that in.
Hey, at least you're staying busy. Like, honestly, following you on Instagram has been so fascinating just because you do the thing where you are a genuine working artist in that you keep your nose to the grindstone and have so much going on. I'm continually impressed.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, it's either that or you just sit down and ponder and procrastinate all day, just wondering about things and stuff. You make things happen. That's my whole philosophy. And in fact, that mindset has helped me get some of the biggest jobs or meet some of the best people on the planet. I'm
Hmm.
always making sure that you do something.
Hmm.
Never leave one day like, I don't know. Like my mum used to say, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. So,
Hmm. Truer words. Actually, that's a great segue into asking, would you mind sharing just a brief biographical sketch with the audience?
what does that mean?
So just a little bit about who you are.
A biographical sketch is like, what was he? I was going
That's fair play.
right. Well, my name is Des Taylor, otherwise known as Despot. I am an artist, illustrator, designer, international man of mystery,
Mhm.
and
True
I
enough.
pretty much, yeah, I draw comics, I design books, and gosh, do you know what? It's like that whole Michael Jackson movie, and
Okay,
how everybody's explaining like, how can you put his entire life into one movie? That's like me. You can't. I've done so many things. Like, you know what I mean? We would need at least 4 or 5 of these podcasts to cover. But anyway, yeah.
okay. So I actually wanted to ask you what you thought of the movie because if when I was doing the research, you worked for the fan magazine for Michael Jackson. Like genuine curiosity, like what did you think of the movie? And then, oh my goodness, how does one get that job?
Do you know what is really funny? How many people that have messaged me like, "What do you think about the movie?" I haven't seen it yet. No, I haven't. I haven't had the time. I'll go and see it next week. So it's funny. My inbox is just full of like our mates or guys that know what I've done in the past. Yeah. How did I get that job? All right. So it all started with a friend of mine called Zerin. She's Turkish,
Mhm.
and she asked me to draw a picture of Michael Jackson for her. Because, I know that you're an artist. Could you draw a picture? So I drew the picture and I thought nothing else of it, right? It was right, cute. What would, I guess, would be a chibi. design now.
Hmm.
Right. So this is before Chibis. I was doing this cute sort of thing. So I did it for her, and little did I know that she sent the picture in to Michael Jackson's fan magazine. And then I think the editor got back to her, asked like, "Do you know who did?" Yeah, we go to school together. And they go, you know what I mean? Do you have his number? Gave him number, and then cut long story short, I was watching Manchester United. They were playing Barcelona, and so into the game, I got a phone call, and then I thought it was a joke. Yeah, I thought it was my friend Kiri just winding me up. Yeah, sure,
Hmm.
kill, mate, fuck off. We're doing, you know, I'm watching the football. Because no, this is Adrian Grant. He was the editor of the magazine then. He goes, yeah, I'm here in California. I'm with Michael Jackson's manager and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, what? Yeah, because we just love your artwork. We wondered if you would like to be a fan club artist. I was like, yeah, obviously, yeah, sure. It's okay, yeah. Like if you can get your details, and then that was it. I went to their offices, I did some sketches and work on that, and then that was it for I think about 4 years. That was
Wow.
it. So I was Michael Jackson's fan club official illustrator.
That's so cool.
And that was, I just literally thought nothing, I thought I was just doing something for the magazine and the
Hmm.
fans. And obviously I liked, Michael Jackson
Hmm.
then. And then, but what blew my mind was I was working at this, I don't know if you have bookies where you are, but basically it was like a betting shop called Ladbrokes over here.
Okay.
I was working in Ladbrokes and I got a call, the manager, so there's a phone call for you. And it was Adrian. He said, oh, I need you to get down to Wembley Stadium in a couple of hours. And I was like, well, I'm working. I'm at Ladbrokes, right? And he goes, trust me, you need to get down here. I've got you a ticket. I was like, okay, cool. And then he said, it's not a ticket to watch the show. Michael wants to see you. And then I thought he was winding me up. No, don't play with me. And then he said, look, it's true. Look, it starts at 7:30 or whatever, but we've got to get there early and stuff. So I asked my manager, boss, can I go early? Because Michael Jackson wants to meet me. He's like, sure. You still got all these bets to do and all this stuff. So I was like, it's serious, man. All right. And he was, all right, go. And there I am in my Ladbrokes tie. Jumped on the train. I am sweating because, London transport was very slow. Managed to get there. And literally, it was like he was outside, the editor. He was outside. And he was like, hurry up. And then we were just like literally rushed through these corridors. And it was just, how can I explain this? You're seeing faces that you recognize. I recognize
Hmm.
Frank Bruno, the boxer, was there. And then I recognized Jack Nicholson was there. Yeah. And then I realized, I went, hold up a second. It's Janet Jackson. Oh my God. You know what I mean? But you literally were just pushed away. And then there was this massive tent. There was some we pushed past a queue, and then all I remember was this flashing lights, and we were thrown around the corner, and he was just standing there. And it was literally the hair on my arms. It was just like wham in my face. And he stood there and he turned and his big grin, and he's wearing his his sunglasses. And then everything just, I don't know, it was like slow motion, like it wasn't real.
Hmm.
And then I took in a lot of the stuff now that you're hearing about in the media. So I looked at obviously his skin is pale,
Hmm.
but he's come to shake my hand, and I shook his hand, and then I've noticed in the hand, in like the what do you call it, the cuticles,
Yeah.
like natural brown skin.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So I was like, well, okay, that's kind of weird. And then you can see like the little patches, but you can see it's heavily makeup
Hmm.
everywhere. Then I noticed the nose. I was like, okay, all right, I see that. And then as I say, this was just
Hmm. Oh, star power.
star power. Yeah, I was mouth dry, taking this in, I don't know what to say. And then what did he? The editor and the co-editor, she came along, and then they presented him with this picture that I had done in the past. So, oh, Michael, Des drew this for you. And I was kind of upset because I hadn't, it was an old picture. If I'd have known, I would have drawn something, you know what I mean, spectacular for him. But they had basically just take one of the pictures and they said, yeah. I goes, oh, this is beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. And then I really didn't know what to say. I remember saying something absolutely bloody stupid. That was it. When he came to shoot my hand, I went, all right, mate. And like, you can see people in horror because it was like, oh, Michael, Mr. Jackson, all that stuff. I was like, all right, mate. And a big grin on his face. He was just laughing. And then I just was mumbling.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing I remember when we were saying our goodbyes, I said, make sure this is your best performance because I'm watching. And yeah, literally, I could have picked up my face, but he just cracked up laughing. And then he cussed me. He said, man, you sound like Michael Caine, but if he had rocks in his mouth. I was like, all right, I'll take that as a compliment, man.
Hey, any comparison to Michael Caine is a good day, right? Especially for Michael Jackson.
I think it's because he had never met like a black guy with a Cockney accent. You know, and oh mate, yeah, right, you couldn't, yeah. And he was just like, I guess just standing there like, wow. And then this is what surprised me. Years later, I showed the video on Instagram the other day. He came down to it was this celebration of Thriller party in London, and he turned up out the blue. Nobody knew that he was going to be there.
Oh wow!
I just happened to. I was in the show, but I was selling my artwork. But the guy that was supposed to be comparing the show got sick, and then they just said, "Oh, get Des to do it." I was like, "What? I'm here selling my artwork. Get your artwork. We'll find somebody to make your sales. We need somebody to do the show because we've got the host, this guy called Robin. He goes, yeah, but we need somebody else to, you know, to." I was like, oh, all right, what do I have to do? Because here's the track list, here's the list, here's the, you know, whatever. And these artists are coming on, and then you just got to announce them when they come on. I was like, oh, that's going to be easy. And then little do I know, a few hours later, he's here. Who's here? Michael's here. Michael who? Michael Jackson's here. I was like, shut up, he's Michael Jackson ain't here. He goes, keep the crowd entertained for 15 minutes. And I was like, nothing takes 15 minutes. What are you on about 15 minutes? What am I supposed to do? He goes, like, oh, I don't know, just entertain them. And then I was like making stupid, oh, we're going to have a dance competition. So everybody know Thriller? We're going to have a Thriller competition. Then I was picking people out of the crowd. Yeah, they were doing Thriller dance. And then when that finished, it's another 10 minutes, isn't it? It's only 5 minutes long. So I was, all right, so we're going to do bad. Just like literally making up something. It's rubbish. And then the security guards started coming in. And then they started putting these barriers around the front. And literally the audience, they're just totally oblivious to it. And then when they were going to announce that he's going to be there, I went out to the stage and I just cracked up laughing. And I just went to them, all right, you guys are going to have to promise to behave yourselves because we're about to announce something. But you promise you've got to not rush the stage. And then my co-host, he came out and he just said, yeah, are you ready? The King of Pop, Mr. Michael Jackson. And then basically he turned up. And what was funny, sorry, I just totally dived ahead. What had happened before was when he came into the building through the back, backstage, he's got his bodyguards there. And I was like, all right, Mike. And he said, hi, how are you doing? And then he mentioned my name. I was like, did somebody tell him? And then I was like, no, he remembered me from.
Oh, that is so cool.
Oh, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
And there is this clip I will find where when he comes on the stage and me and Robin, we get down on our knees and we start going, we're not worthy, we're not worthy. And then he tells us to stand up and everything. And then, God rest her soul, Gloria Haydock, she was in charge of the new magazine called King Magazine. She passed away. And I remember she taken me backstage and she said, Michael just said to me, that Des is so crazy. I was like, woo! And then so many things happened that day. As I said, I made a post the other day that I went out and bought him comics.
Hmm.
So I was hungry. I was saying, all right, I'm literally just acting like myself around him. He sat
Hmm.
there, as I say, he's got his little entourage there. He's got all of the higher ups,
Yeah.
the manager of the actual building, all that stuff around him. And I just can't. Now, guys, right, I'm starving. Kind of go upstairs. Mike, do you want anything from the shop? Right? And he just looked at me dumbfounded because I said, "Oh, I'm getting it." You know what I mean? He might be a multi-billionaire, but I'll get him in. What do you want? And he asked for some sweets, just some candies, like Haribo's, like jellies and
Hmm.
stuff. All right, okay, cool. And Gloria, do you want anything? No, no, no. And then, Sky, do you want anything? All right, I went off. And then on my way back, I just went, oh, it's Forbidden Planet. You know what? He gives so much.
Hmm.
I want to buy him something. So I went and I bought him The Killing Joke and The Dark
Oh.
Knight Returns. I was like, he's a
Hmm.
Batman fan, so let me get
Hmm.
it. And then went back to the place. As he was about to leave, that's when I said, Mike, you got a long journey home. So these are for you. If you haven't read these before, these are quintessential Batman reading. You need to read these. And he was like, oh man, God, thank you so much. And I think that was literally it. And I tell you now, I went home and I flew. I was on cloud nine. Like,
Hmm.
I couldn't believe it had happened. It's like the weirdest, craziest day. So there you go.
That's an incredible story. Like, especially, and great picks, by the way. The Killing Joke and The Dark Knight Returns, quintessential Batman stories. I want to transition a little bit here talking comics because you have the Blue Lotus strikes coming
Yes.
out. Tell us about what that project is because it looks fascinating.
Right. So I remember briefly talking to you about Eva Strongbird. Now, Eva
Hmm.
Strongbird came from, a love of old war films,
Hmm.
stuff like that, With the Blue Lotus strikes, that comes from. Do you remember watching like old films, like
Hmm.
basically all the Elvis films,
Hmm.
In Light Flint,
Hmm.
Matt Helm,
Oh yeah.
with Dean Martin and stuff like that, and obviously Batman '66, Men from Uncle.
Hmm.
Was brought up watching all of these films,
Hmm.
yeah, and obviously Connery Bond. We get there in a second,
Oh yeah.
right? But yeah, that's my bag, baby. And I sat down. Oh, this was absolute years ago. I remember I was slammed doing some work. I wanted a holiday.
Hmm.
And literally, I just looked online. I said, I'm going away for a week. I don't care where. I found a holiday in Portugal, Villa Moura, 1 week. And it was one of those ones I didn't realize that it's one of those ones where you're going on a tour with people. They'll pick you up and they'll take you
Yeah.
to places. But I didn't bother that. They knock on my door every morning and go, Mr. Taylor, yeah. I said, don't worry about it. I'm not coming. I'm just here to just rest. Because, oh, yeah, but we've got all these activities. Enjoy your activities because I ain't coming. Good. See ya.
The
Right?
tour guides are so confused as to why
Yeah.
you're.
That's like, why are you here? It's like, I'm here. Don't you worry. Just go enjoy. Take the other people, whatever. Leave me alone. So anyway, during that time, I was like, right, I want to create this superhero character. And I remember I called her Raven at first. Raven,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was the Blue Raven and whatever. And I was just thinking, right, but it can't be. What if, like, Bruce Wayne is a billionaire? What if there was a female, but she's rich?
Hmm.
Yeah, how was And then I started to think about the city that she would operate in, and obviously it changed as it was going along from the Blue Raven, or whatever the hell I called it, and then it was I can't remember what made it was the Lotus. Oh yeah, that was it. I saw a Blue Lotus car,
Oh, uh-huh.
and it was like an old 1966 Lotus.
Yeah.
The Blue Lotus, and it hit me right. And then so this literally came from my love of watching those
Hmm.
cool 60s movies and trying to, or I guess, rework it
Hmm.
so people that aren't so savvy about these shows that I grew up with would go back and maybe research them, or and then obviously what helped was the Incredibles, because the Incredibles showed
Yes.
that that whole modern future or retro futuristic
Mm-hmm.
can sort of work. So that was literally it, and that has been sitting on my shelf, this whole Blue Lotus thing, for over 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Maybe 15 years, yeah.
Wow.
So
Well, congratulations that it's
I
finally.
was like, I finally get out, right? Because I had done, what's the first thing I did? Oh, so the first thing I did was the Trouble Katie Rogers, and then I did Besha Valentine's story.
Mm-hmm.
And then Titan came up to me and they asked me, yeah, would you like to join our whole initiative, Titan Comics?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah. And they were like, what do you got? So I put down Blue Lotus, I put down Scarlet Couture,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember the other two. Katie Rogers and another one. And they just went, Scarlet Couture, Spy,
Mm-hmm.
a lot easier.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then, so Blue Lotus went back on the shelf. And then obviously, first series of Scarlet Couture was good. He did well. They asked, you going to do another one? I said, yeah, I'm going to do
Mm-hmm.
another one. So I did another one. And then it's literally, that's on the shelf. Then I met Rob Pratt. And then we did
Mm-hmm.
Strongbird. So Blue Lotus is still on the shelf. And then I was like, you know what? I'm tired of that thing being so, I just need to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. So finally, I'm getting it out.
Congratulations. I love the vibes. I grew up watching the 1960s Batman. So that was
Yeah,
like my first of that kind of like genre and time. But like
yeah,
I watched I Spy with Robert Culp,
yes,
Bill Cosby, like all of those like 60s Flint,
yeah.
obviously the Connery Bonds, but like
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. There's
Yeah,
just something, there's such a delicious cool factor to
yeah.
all of that era. And I love what you're doing reminds me of a lot of the ways the Rocketeer works, where it's not, it fits effortlessly into that genre
Yeah.
without feeling like a copy. Like this was a
Yes,
conversation we were having. Like
yes,
Indiana
yes.
Jones is a
Yeah,
nice distillation, the same way the Rocketeer is. They're
yeah,
continuations of the conversation. They aren't
yeah,
retreading the conversation.
yeah.
And the Blue Lotus fits within that vibe ever so
That
perfectly.
vibe, yeah. So that is literally it. And as much as I try to, I guess Scarlet Couture is my way of trying to do something updated. I mean, I still have, her style is still very original.
Hmm.
Um,
Love the name, by the way. Scarlet Couture is like one of those like hats off chef's kiss, like naming a character. I don't, I'm not sure what you're familiar with, like the old pulp magazines are,
yes,
but
yes, I've got loads of them.
yeah, it's just there's such a naming a character and creating a character's like identity is so important to
Yeah,
like continue a story. Scarlet
yes,
Couture has like that rock hard, fantastic, like this is a awesome name that just works.
thank
And
you.
you've done such a good job with that, like the Blue Lotus or Eva Strongbird. Like you're doing such a great job with these names where I'm like, hot damn, Dez is like gonna be like the new pulp guy. Like
People
just
funny. Do you know what is absolutely funny? Is my secret of naming names. See behind you, you've got all those books.
mhm.
I'll look at the names on the spine, and then like right now I've got Richard, and then there's Kyle Baker. So there's Richard Stark book and Kyle Baker. I've got Richard Baker or Kyle Stark. And that's literally
Yeah.
it. Right there, I'll do that. Except for Eva Strongbird is a bit different. That actually came from, it was originally Eva Strongbow,
Oh.
because I was sitting in the pub and then
Yeah.
there's Strongbow cider. Right? So it's Strongbow. And then I was like, no, I don't know. And then lo and behold, a friend of mine, Rosie, um, I don't even know I should be saying this, but yeah, basically she had a bit of a scrap with somebody
Uh-huh.
and another woman, and she went, "Bloody hell, that was a strong bird." And I was, "Strongbird, that's it, Eva Strongbird." So that was it.
That's like a Blue Lotus moment where just you see the thing, you hear the thing, and it just
And it hits you.
clicks.
Yeah, yeah. So it's crazy. So yeah, I'm always inspired by anything around you. There's inspiration in everything. So yeah.
I think that's the only way to be like a commercial artist or a commercial
Mm.
creator
Yes.
is otherwise like it's I can't remember what book it was I was reading on creativity that was like basically the ability to be open to just the inspiration that's around you
Yeah.
is quintessentially important because otherwise like it's so easy to go through life just tunneled into these are the things I have to do and close off to anything around you.
Yeah.
But like when people talk about having writer's block, and I don't know if artist block is a thing that happens, but basically just that being unable to create, it usually comes down to, well, how closed are you to everything that's like going on around you?
You literally just got to switch off for a couple of minutes because obviously if you're working
Hmm.
constantly on something, you're getting tired.
Yeah.
Your brain isn't, yeah. So this writer's block or whatever,
Hmm.
you just no, mate, you're just tired. So
Hmm.
go away from it for I don't know, hour, 2 hours, whatever, and literally, I keep telling my daughter because she's like, she wants to be a writer or whatever, and I'm just like, watch TV shows,
Hmm.
watch movies. I don't care. Watch a lot of the stuff I get inspired by is music videos.
Oh,
You know,
really?
some music videos. Yeah, like
That makes sense.
whatever. So you know, what I mean, I'm not the latest music videos; they're whack. But you know, what I mean? Like proper MTV. Go back, have a look at them, and you're just like, oh my god! I remember there was uh, a scene in Scarlet Couture, the first one,
Hmm.
and literally I got the entire scene from a Jamiroquai video. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's what she's wearing, and that's how he rolls up to the casino
Hmm.
or whatever. Yeah, I was like, that's it. So you know, you get inspiration everywhere, and then you obviously you get the spark, and then you run back to your thing, and then
Hmm.
you write again. Yeah.
Okay, that makes so much sense that you draw inspiration from like MTV music videos because everything you create, part of what I love about your art is that it really does, no pun intended here, it just pops. Like there's just this beautiful just radiance that it has. Like when I think of like if you were to just take a screenshot of an MTV music video, just it has
You're
that kind of
back
electric
bang
vibe to it.
or you are smack bang on. I'll never forget. This many years ago, somebody said each of your pictures look like a screenshot from a video or an
Hmm.
animated show that doesn't exist,
Hmm.
and that's literally how I my mind works. I very rarely draw characters static. They've got to be doing
Hmm.
something. Because if
Hmm.
that picture's on your wall, you've got to go staring at it and just wonder, oh, look, I'm looking at this Vessi Valentine picture and she's smoking and she's looking suggestively. Now, what is she's looking suggestively at the guy because, you know, something's about to happen? Or does she know something? So your mind just goes off rather than just, you know.
Hmm. It's not just yeah, like it just it does have energy. And okay, I need to talk to you about this point because I wrote this down listening to one of your interviews. You one of your first commercial sales was of a James Bond art piece to
Oh,
a to
yes.
Miss Moneypenny's. Is that
Yes, right.
right?
Yes. So this is balmy. My first exhibition in London. I am nervous because obviously I paid in advance for the place, and you know what I mean? Got to start making some money. So the most expensive piece I had on the wall was this picture of James Bond. I had painted, and if I remember rightly, I had run out of canvas, so I just drew it on a massive piece of wood. Yeah, I went down to to Wickes home
Uh-huh.
store, and yeah, I just need a massive piece of wood. Yeah, that'll do. And then she just carried this big MDF home and painted on it. And so that was like the centerpiece. And Bridget, love you, girl. She basically she saw this woman staring at the painting, and rather than go straight in and ask, "Oh, are you
Hmm.
interested in?" She introduced herself. Hi, I'm Bridget. I'm in charge of sales here. Blah, blah, blah. Do you have a drink? Get this woman champagne. She's got champagne. She's got champagne, and she just talked to her about anything. Like, what are you doing here? Blah, 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 so on and so forth. Then obviously she disclosed that I run a store called Miss Moneypenny's. It's a fashion store. And they was just like, oh my God. And you're looking at James Bond. Come on. And then she goes, let me have a think about it. She goes, look, I'm going to do the rounds. And then
Hmm.
like, if you need me, I'll be back. rather than pressuring her.
Hmm.
Make sure you get her another drink. So she got another drink. She's there now. She's a bit tipsy. And then she goes, Desmond, don't worry. I got this. She's interested, right? So she went back about, I don't know, half hour later, and she was still standing in the same spot. She hadn't moved. And then he was just like, you still here? Oh, your glass is get running low. Get another champagne. She's got another champagne. Because you're still pondering over this. He goes, yeah, I'm still pondering. Do you know what? I'll take it. You'll be, you know, I mean, I've been standing here. She goes, exactly, all right, okay. And then she put the red dot on it. And I was like, bang, that pays for the place. The rest of it is profit. So yeah. So thank you, Mr. Bond. And it was a Connery.
Hmm. Well, okay, that's where my brain like leapt to it from your description of the piece you were just looking at on your wall
Yeah,
is the look of like, okay, in action, smoking. I think that that's part of what makes James Bond as a character kind of cool
yeah,
because he seems like someone constantly in motion and constantly in action.
yes,
Even
yes.
the at rest images we have, our favorite
Yeah,
ones are the ones where he looks like he's about to do something dangerous.
something, yes. And especially when you see him at a casino table. He's got the cigarette there
Oh.
and his cards and the chips and stuff. It's just, come on. Come on. I would say that every man, there's a bit of controversy here. All right, every man, whether you're black, white, indifferent, whatever, once you put on a tuxedo, you are James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I don't need to see a black guy in a James Bond suit. Sorry, for me, that's just Shaft in a freaking tuxedo, right? 100%. You just feel you are
Mm-hmm.
dressed to the nines. You're going somewhere
Mm-hmm.
sophisticated. You are Bond. That's and you know what I mean. His character is so important to pop culture. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's been sort of diminished.
Yeah.
It's something a lot has been lost. I'll
Mm-hmm.
say since the what's his name because you used to love him, the Pierce Brosnan ones.
Yes. Oh my goodness. The Pierce Brosnan was I was just reading there was a novelization of Tomorrow Never Dies, the second
Yeah,
Brosnan movie that Raymond Benson wrote. And just reading it, the quips, the way the dialogue is, it's just so snappy back and forth.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
I did not appreciate like I grew up in the Craig era. So
yeah,
like a lot of I came to everything else, but
yeah,
Brosnan just had this charm that really did have like that 60s late Connery, early Roger Moore vibe where he's
yeah.
just handsome, charming, and uh Bond, James Bond, straight up with a twist. Like this
Yeah,
oh
100%. All right. So I'm a Connery fan no matter what, but
mm-hmm,
Brosnan was most probably the most entertaining one because I
mm-hmm,
remember going to the Odeon Leicester Square for all of his films, all of them. And you know, Odeon Leicester Square, it was an event. Anybody that's
mm-hmm,
got the biggest film, the Odeon opening weekend was smashed. You know, you wouldn't believe how many people turn up. Anyway, and the atmosphere in it, everybody's up for it. Everybody's whooping, cheering,
mm-hmm.
doing the crazy, whatever. What was the one where he's in the little mini boat going down the River Thames?
Oh, the world is not enough.
World is not enough, right? And all of that, the cheer when he did the skid and the water went on the
Mm-hmm,
traffic warden, and everybody just cheered for that. And you know, you don't get that now.
mm-hmm,
The Craig ones are just dead. It's just dead silence, nothing. And yeah, as I say, that's something is completely lost there. And I know they are trying to. We need to change Bond for this imaginary modern audience. I disagree highly. You keep Bond the same.
mm-hmm.
Keep him being his sexist, misogynist, whatever self, and you put that in a modern setting, and you've got laughs for days because
Yes.
you know he can't get away with the stuff he used to get away
Mm-hmm.
with this, you know what I mean, current time, and there'll be so much laughs.
Mm-hmm. Like I think that the when I rewatched GoldenEye, just I was so
Yeah,
impressed with how well it did the because that was the first point of okay, the world has changed. Is James Bond still
yeah,
relevant? The
yeah.
problem is they've done that exact same conversation like in every subsequent movie. But
I've got a story.
you keep Bond as Bond and
Bond.
him as because even the books, the first James Bond book Bond is more of like an example of a character from like the 1930s, not
Yeah,
the 1950s and 60s.
yeah,
So he's already just an anachronism in a
yeah.
lot of senses as a character. And I think that keeping that keeps his character unique.
Yeah.
Um, just one quick point to your every scene, like as a music video. The It's not my favorite of the Craig movies, but I will say Quantum of Solace.
I
If
do like,
you
yeah,
pause
okay,
any moment in that movie,
yeah,
it looks amazing because
yeah,
it's just ripples with energy and constant movement. And Craig looks so good as
good,
Bond in that
yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
is the first of the Tom Ford suits. Oh,
yeah,
chef's
yeah,
kiss.
yeah, yeah. Oh God, what was it? The scene where he goes to the hotel in Cuba and
Mm-hmm.
it looks like shithole, and he's like, no, I'd rather be dead. He goes into the next one, and you see her face, and then they put in the cue. Dun, 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 dun. I just like, oh man! Once you hear the James Bond theme, oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
on just subtly, and they
Mm-hmm.
stopped doing it for the rest of them.
Yeah.
It's like you hear the James Bond thing at the end of the movie
Mm-hmm.
when he's doing something crazy, he's driving or whatever. You don't hear any theme at all, and you're just dead in the cinema. Funny enough, going
Mm-hmm.
back to what you were saying about
Yeah.
Goldeneye,
Mm-hmm.
I was in college, and what was I doing there? I was in charge of student union. I was running the bar, and basically these two guys came into the bar, and they were wearing Goldeneye jackets because Leaders and Studios was just down the road. Yeah,
Oh.
right. So I was like, oh, what's Goldeneye? And he's like, yeah. What you guys just come from filming? He goes, no, we went to we just got back from London. We went and saw this new film called The Bourne Identity. And I was like, okay, is there any good? He goes, yeah, Bond is finished. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, it was good. It was really good. And then you noticed
Mm-hmm.
how, yeah, Bond basically started becoming Jason Bourne, doing all
Yeah.
Bourne stuff and whatever.
Yeah. I'm optimistic for the future, mainly because I think that we're doing that cycle where the wheel turns. People that grew up with Brosnan are now people that are starting to be involved in making movies. So, in theory, we might see more of like that kind of era of Bond resurface, is my hope. Stephen Knight is the writer on the next Bond film, and he did Peaky Blinders. If he can bring the look cool, be a badass aesthetic that he had in Peaky Blinders to James Bond, I will be a very happy man.
I have a different outlook.
Ooh, do tell.
Do tell. I haven't seen the final Daniel Craig one because once I heard that they killed James
Mm-hmm.
Bond, for me, that's it then. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's how he ends
Yeah.
up. That's it. He's done. So he dies, basically. So why the hell am I going to go watch the next one? Right? It's the same thing. It's like going to see, I don't know, like how they messed up the whole Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, I don't care anymore. They've
Mm-hmm.
got to start make. Do you know what to make people care if they just said Henry Carroll's Bond? Boom! All right, we're back in. All right, but no, they got and he's got to be this guy, and all people that you don't care. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say something I don't care. My wife, all right? She says James Bond has to be somebody that the women
Well,
will not
okay,
lose.
that's how Connery was cast.
Right.
Was so for people who don't know the story, Connery, they're doing this showing screen test. Cubby Broccoli and his wife are sitting in like the little mini theater watching the screen test, and she's like, "Oh, him," because women will want him.
Boom. Right. And then, because she doesn't like Daniel Craig, she goes, "Oh my god, he pouty lips and funny ears and stuff like that." No. He's feeling, guys really like, what I mean? He looks odd, but he can fight, carries himself, he looks suave and all that stuff. So we
Mhm.
can, meh. But the women, if you had Cavill there,
Oh
box
yes.
office opening weekend, that's done.
Yeah.
Right? It's just done, right? So I just think I'm not as optimistic. I just think you've got to make people care
Hmm.
again because, yeah, as I say, you killed off the character, and
So, question for you. Like,
so,
I don't know if you're a video game guy or not. Like, First Light, does that intrigue you at all?
no, what's
Okay.
that? Young James Bond.
So they're doing a James Bond video game where it's supposed to be like him doing his first double O
Nah,
mission because, of course, everything's the first of everything.
don't care. Because I saw that and I was like, oh, is that Ethan Hunt? That's my first thing. James Bond is Mr. Suave.
Hmm.
Guy swings a brandy and by the smell he knows with a touch of Bon Noir. You know what I mean? This is like ultra sophistication.
Hmm.
He's a gentleman, but not. He
Hmm.
knows when to be a gentleman and when not to be a gentleman. You know, this is a different level. And from what I saw from that computer game, it was just, oh, so it's Ethan Hunt. This is Mission Impossible, which I have preferred
Hmm.
with Bond over the years. And yeah, they've just missed that. You've got to make people care about James Bond again. I went to premieres and you saw kids in tuxedos, during the Brosnan era, because they
Hmm.
knew, and their dads with them and everything. I want to, and there's not that now, because everybody's pretty
Hmm.
much like vagabond, and
Yeah.
this era. I don't think it suits him. I
Hmm.
don't know what you would do. A Bond in this era. I just really don't know. It's the kind of weird thing because you got the problem in the golf going on
Hmm.
now, right? Before, Bond used to go to exotic places, didn't he? But now you're just like, well, you know what I mean? There's wars going on there. There's wars going on there. Nobody could afford to travel if he goes to this. I can't even afford to get there now. So eh, I can't even afford to rent a tuxedo. You know what I mean? Money's
Hmm.
tight. So James Bond doesn't really.
I think
But
I saw on Instagram someone had done a reel of like when MI6 gets cost cutting hits MI6 and it's Bond. Here's your latest gadget from Q Branch. And he's like, it's a rock. Like, yes, you throw it at your enemies. And then you need to pick it back up because we can't buy a new one.
well, the other thing is gadgets.
Hmm.
Where's gadgets? Everything's on a mobile phone now.
Yeah, that's the one thing with the Brosnan bonds that hasn't aged the best in my mind is because the gadgets aren't as cool
Mm,
because they're usually techy
yeah,
and tech has just evolved. Whereas like the thing I love about the Connery bonds are that the gadgets are usually much more like mechanical in like
mechanical. Yes,
there it's a
yes,
hidden compartment in
yes,
the thing. When you open the case, it releases gas unless you turn
yes,
it right. Those are the things I love with gadgets.
yeah,
Not, well, he has an app on his phone, he can click it and control his car.
yeah,
My
yeah,
neighbor has that now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true.
He
It's
doesn't have
100%.
an exploding
Yeah,
suitcase.
yeah, yeah, yeah. When you look at like all the sort of stuff they used to have in like World War II, like they used to just like have a rat by the side of the road and used to go past the rat, but the rat used to have some sort of freaking, I don't know, some what was it? It's like a device. The rat
Yeah.
was it a string attached to it that you can
Hmm.
see? So the cars went over the thing, and then he would just tick the amount of trucks that went over, and then you knew, oh yeah, there's like 15 trucks that are going that way. But this little simple things like that, you're just like, yeah, but yeah,
Okay,
everything's happening.
I have to ask then. Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare with Henry Cavill. Did you
Loved it.
see it? Did you like it?
I've watched it at least, the first time I watched it, I'm not going to lie, it was a slow burner.
Hmm.
I watched it again, and then literally, it's a solid film. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I was just reminded this is between the Man from Uncle with Henry Cavill and the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare with Henry Cavill. I'm like, this is the actor who there will be a note that he was Superman, he was The Witcher, and
Yeah.
he was the Bond we did not get.
Yeah, like close to being a Bond. Who's like, what's his name? Who played Bodhi in The Professionals? Lewis Collins. And he
Yes.
was supposed to be Bond, but they said, no, he's too rough for that. And like now, they're like, you'd be the perfect Bond. Well, you botched that chance. Just seriously, they don't need to have tons of casting people. You
Mm-hmm.
just sit down, drag 10 women from an office and sit them down, just put them in front and goes, who would you rather be James Bond?
Mm-hmm.
You meet him in a bar and he comes up to you and he's suave. He wants to take you upstairs. Which one would you go upstairs with? And they'll be like, Cavill! All the rest, forget them. How many of them were Cavill? That's it. All
Mm-hmm.
right, your cast. Thank you, ladies. There you go. Here's tickets to the premiere.
And when they eventually cast Cavill as Bond, they'll send us tickets for the premiere since we gave them this brilliant idea. They need to do that.
But I say you've got to make people care again. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing. The problem they're going to find out with the Mandalorian. I can't say it now.
Mandalorian and Grogu.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Tuesday. Nobody cares. You've got to make people care.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's actually a great example because I was telling people I'm over most of the Marvel movies at this point.
Yeah,
I'm vaguely more interested in seeing the new Spider-Man movie than I
that
am
will make
seeing
sense. Yeah,
Doomsday because
yeah,
Spider-Man, all of the other problems of the MCU, Spider-Man hasn't really been a part of
yeah,
because it's been isolated
yeah,
enough. I'm
yeah.
like, I would go see it.
Yeah, yeah, and I guess you can relate more to Peter Parker than
Yeah.
you can, all the others. But you mustn't also forget whether it's Star Wars, whether it's Marvel, they have been telling you the loyal person, the loyal
Mm-hmm.
customer, the loyal to go back yourself, and you're no longer needed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, all right, fair enough. I'll go and do my own thing then.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're like, we want you back. It's like, no, it don't work that way. You've got to make me care again. You've
Mm-hmm.
told me, like, I've gone to your shop and you said that we don't serve you no more. You're not welcome. Your money's not good here. You're all right. I'll go to another shop. And that's what people did.
Mm-hmm.
They went and they invested in Stranger Things until that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they found other things to do now.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to try and make people care again. You know what? It's really, really scary. My daughter, she has a teacher who's a Star Wars fan.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is anybody here like Star Wars? She's 14 and nobody put their hands up except for my daughter. Does anybody know what Star Wars is? And somebody goes, oh, is that thing with that big gorilla? Does anybody know who Darth Vader is?
Wow.
And you're just like, wow, that's it. Done.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody read comics? No. Like,
Oh.
oh, manga. We read manga. You know what I mean? We read whatever, One Piece and all that stuff. Does anybody read Batman? Do you think, none. No kids. So you've got this whole generation that just doesn't care, who will grow up
Mm-hmm.
not giving a shit. So that's the problem where we're at now. They're
Mm-hmm.
doing their own thing now. I mean, for her, everybody was on Stranger Things.
Yes.
Every kid was
Mm-hmm.
on that. So I mean, that's their Star Wars.
Yeah, which honestly, again, just a perfect example of taking all of these influences and making something original out of it.
Yeah, yeah, which they can.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what Star Wars was to begin with.
Yeah, yeah. Miss Smash. I've said this in another video. They've got to stop trying to make Star Wars movies
Mm-hmm.
and make the type of movies that George Lucas used to make, which was
Yes.
an amalgamation of westerns and war movies and
Mm-hmm.
and samurai things, and just
Mm-hmm.
mishmash them all up and create something.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is why season 1 of The Mandalorian was really successful. It did that.
Yeah. And number 2, I kid you not, gave me a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
Almost. I thought I was having a heart attack when Luke Skywalker came back.
Mm-hmm.
I literally just dropped it and I was like hyperventilating. And I was like, I can't, no. Oh my fucking God, it's Luke Skywalker. It's Luke. My daughter's like, what's going on? It's Luke Skywalker. It's fucking Luke Skywalker. Oh my God. And she was just like, she understood now. And then she wants to get in Star Wars. And then, I made her watch the original.
Mm-hmm.
Big screen. They had a showing at the Prince Charles Theatre in London.
Oh, that's so cool.
So she went and saw, and she understood, because you know she had like all the old geeks like me that were in the in the audience, and it's a pretty run down sort of cinema. It's like this is exact sort of environment. You ain't got that nice stuff that you got, Odeon Lux. This was it. Oh my god! The only thing it was missing was the popcorn lady that used to be in the old Turnpike Lane cinema I used to go to. He used to smoke and so popcorn.
Little ash on your popcorn.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, fucking brilliant. Good times.
Oh, that's awesome. Des, this has been a phenomenal conversation. I love the way that you care about your fans and care about just the state of pop culture.
Yeah.
And your love for that shows 100% in all of the art you put out. People definitely need to check it out. Where can people go to learn more about you and your work?
You're gonna put one of those like fancy little.
Oh no, I don't put that much editing into the
I was about to say, yeah.
I'll put it in the show description. Go down there.
All right. In the show description, you can go to www.despopart.com, where you can get loads of comics, loads of prints, and loads of my charm.
Hey, and this man is nothing but charm, sophistication, and suavity,
I wish.
like Michael Caine. So people check it
Yeah.
out. I will link everything in the show notes and also link to the Kickstarter link for Blue Lotus.
Lovely. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it totally.
Awesome. Thanks, Des.
You take care, and thank you. Ciao for now.